There's a German grocery store so secretive, even their own employees don't know how much money it makes. No music, no decorations. Customers bag their own groceries on a random table. And right now, it's silently crushing every supermarket you've ever loved. The strategy behind this is almost unsettling. In 1976, while America was busy celebrating its bicentennial and disco was taking over the radio, something strange happened in Iowa. A German grocery store quietly opened its doors. No fanfare, no grand opening celebration, just a tiny shop with weird products nobody recognized. Most Americans walked right past it. The name? Aldi, short for Albrecht Discount. Two German brothers, Karl and Theo, started this whole thing with their mother's corner store after World War II. Germany was broke. People were hungry. So the brothers figured out how to sell groceries cheaper than anyone else. And they got really, really good at it. Fast forward to America, and for decades, Aldi just existed. Walmart grabbed headlines, Kroger expanded everywhere. Meanwhile, Aldi stayed small and quiet, like that kid in class who never talks, but somehow gets straight A's. Here's where it gets interesting. By 2024, Aldi operates over 2,400 stores across 39 states. That's not a typo. Between 2017 and 2023 alone, they added 800 new locations. Do the math. That's roughly 2 stores opening every single week for 6 years straight. My uncle thought I was joking when I told him this. He still thinks Aldi is that weird European store with the quarter shopping carts. But the numbers don't lie. Aldi is now the 3rd largest grocery chain in America by store count. 3rd, behind only Walmart and Kroger. And the craziest part? Most people still have no idea how they did it, or why their prices are so impossibly low, or why millionaires shop there alongside families counting every dollar. The German invasion happened while everyone was looking the other way. So how exactly does a no-frills grocery store slash prices by nearly half without selling garbage? That's where Aldi's real genius comes in. So how do they pull off prices that make other grocers look like highway robbery? Here's the first thing. Walk into an Aldi and you'll notice something weird. Where are all the brands? That's because about 90% of what they sell is private label. Their own stuff. No Kellogg's, no Kraft, no middleman taking a cut. And honestly, that's where the magic happens. See, when Cheerios sits on a shelf, you're paying for the cereal, the advertising, the fancy box design, the celebrity endorsements, and General Mills' shareholders. At Aldi, you're basically just paying for the cereal. But wait, it gets better. Their stores are tiny, like really tiny, about 12,000 square feet. A regular supermarket, 45,000, that's almost 4 times bigger. Bigger store means bigger rent, bigger electric bill, more employees mopping floors at midnight. Aldi said, no thanks to all of that. Now here's the part that blew my mind. A typical Aldi runs with 3 to 5 employees at any given time. 3 to 5. Walk into a Kroger, and you'll see 20 people just in the deli section arguing about ham slices. A few months ago, I had no idea what a health ring even was until my fiancé got me one, and I have to say, I'm shocked this isn't a widely known and used product. It tracks my stress levels, and what I found out is that some supplements made my stress score spike, while others actually helped bring it down. I adjusted a few things based on that, and honestly, I feel 10 years younger. My wife mainly uses it to track her menstrual cycles, and she is obsessed with her sleep quality score. I noticed they are currently running a limited 69% discount, but I don't know how long it will last. It's currently only $60, and it's clear this one is the best bang for your buck. with other health rings priced around $350 with less functions. They managed to price it this low because they cut out the middleman like Amazon, Walmart, etc., who drive up the price and take a big margin, ending up with the customer paying 3 to 5 times more. If you are on TV, you can check it out yourself by pausing the video and scanning the QR code with your phone camera or clicking the first link in the description of this video. And those products sitting in cardboard boxes on the shelves? That's not laziness. That's genius. Every box they don't unpack saves labor. Every fancy display they skip saves money. Every dollar saved goes right back to you. The result? Studies show Aldi's prices run 30 to 50% lower than conventional supermarkets. On the same quality stuff. My neighbor thought cheap meant sketchy, like they were selling expired mystery meat from a guy named Vlad. Nope. The savings come from stripping away every unnecessary expense between the warehouse and your kitchen table. Nothing more, nothing less. But here's what skeptics always ask. If everything's so cheap, doesn't the quality suffer? The answer might surprise even the biggest brand-name loyalists. All right, so let's talk about what everyone assumes. Cheap means bad. Dollar store quality. Stuff that tastes like cardboard wrapped in disappointment. Wrong. Aldi's private label products go through some of the toughest testing in the industry. And here's the kicker. In blind taste tests, their brands regularly match or straight up beat the national names. We're talking side-by-side comparisons where people can't tell the difference. Sometimes they prefer the Aldi version. Their premium line, called Specially Selected, has actually won awards. Industry awards. We're not talking participation trophies here. Their cheeses have beaten high-end competitors. Their chocolate? Same story. I tried their dark chocolate once expecting nothing special. Now I hide it from my family. But what about fresh stuff? Produce? Here's something most people don't realize. Smaller stores actually mean fresher food. Think about it. A massive supermarket orders tons of produce that sits there for days. Aldi's smaller footprint means faster turnover. Deliveries arrive multiple times per week. That lettuce hasn't been on a shelf since the Clinton administration. And they back everything up with something called the twice-as-nice guarantee. Don't love something? Return it. Get your money back. Plus a replacement item. They're basically daring you to be disappointed. Consumer Reports does those big grocery store rankings every year. Guess who consistently shows up near the top for customer satisfaction? Aldi. Sitting right alongside stores that charge twice as much. Now, here's the part that really gets me. Many of those Aldi products, made by the exact same manufacturers who produce the name brands. Same factory, same ingredients, different box. You're literally paying extra for a logo. My uncle refused to believe this until I showed him the factory records. Didn't say much after that. So the quality question is settled. But what about safety? What about health? Because that's where things get really interesting. Now let's tackle the elephant in the room. Health and safety. Because saving money means nothing if the food makes you sick. Or if it's pumped full of stuff you can't pronounce. Here's where Aldi actually shocked me. They banned synthetic colors from all their exclusive brand foods. Gone. Partially hydrogenated oils? Kicked out. Added MSG? Not welcome here. This happened before some of the biggest names in grocery even acknowledged these were problems. Think about that for a second. The budget store making health moves ahead of the premium brands. Their supplier requirements often exceed what the federal government mandates. That's not marketing fluff. These are actual certifications that factories must maintain to keep selling to Aldi. Fail an inspection? You're out. And the meat situation is better than most people realize. All fresh poultry comes from facilities with strict antibiotic policies. Every cut of beef, pork, and chicken passes through USDA-inspected facilities. No shortcuts. But what really impressed me was their organic expansion. Over 200 products now carry certified organic and USDA-verified labels. Not hidden in some special section. Just sitting right next to everything else at prices that won't require a second mortgage. My neighbor has a kid with severe nut allergies. She told me Aldi's labeling saved her sanity. Everything's clearly marked. Allergens stand out. No squinting at tiny print under fluorescent lights trying to decode ingredient lists. The simple truth approach extends to transparency. What's in the food? You'll know. Where did it come from? They'll tell you. I remember when eating healthy and shopping cheap felt like opposite goals. Like picking between gas money and vegetables? Aldi decided that was a false choice. Clean ingredients, strict standards, real oversight. All wrapped up in those no-frills boxes. But here's something people underestimate. Selection. Because what good is a cheap, healthy store if they've got nothing you actually want? Early Aldi felt like shopping in a warehouse where someone forgot to unpack. 700 items. Total. That's it. You wanted variety? Wrong store. You wanted 17 types of mustard? Go somewhere else. But here's where Aldi pulled off something clever. They didn't just add more stuff. They curated. Today's stores stock around 1,800 products. Still way less than the 40,000 items crammed into your average supermarket. But here's the thing. How many of those 40,000 do you actually buy? Studies show most families rotate through the same 100 items week after week. Aldi figured this out decades ago. Instead of offering 20 ketchup options where 19 collect dust, they stock 2 or 3 great ones. Less decision fatigue, faster shopping, same full cart. Then there's the Aldi Finds aisle. This changed everything. Every week, completely random stuff shows up. Patio furniture, air fryers, German chocolate, scuba gear that one time. I'm not making that up. My wife now plans grocery trips around what might appear in that middle aisle. It's like a treasure hunt, where the treasure costs $12 and you didn't know you needed it. Smart move, right? The food selection grew up too. Fresh bakery items, premium steaks, craft wines that sommeliers actually respect. International foods I can't pronounce, but definitely want to eat. Speaking of wine, Aldi bottles under $5 have beaten $40 competitors in blind tastings. Repeatedly. Some judges refused to believe it. Seasonal offerings got serious too. Christmas brings authentic German Stollen. Summer means grilling supplies that rival specialty shops. Halloween candy that disappears from my pantry suspiciously fast. The store that once felt bare bones now covers 90% of what families actually need. Without the maze. Without the chaos. But selection means nothing if getting through checkout takes forever. And Aldi's approach to that? Let's just say it surprised a lot of people. Here's something grocery chains don't want to admit. Their best customers aren't millennials with fancy apps. It's the 65 and older crowd. And they're switching to Aldi in droves. Why? Start with the obvious. Fixed incomes don't stretch like they used to. When Social Security checks barely cover rent, watching your grocery bill drop by a third feels like getting a raise. My dad called it practical magic after his first Aldi trip. Same cart of food, $40 less. But money isn't everything. Time matters too. The average supermarket trip eats 60 minutes of your day. Aldi? 30 minutes. In and out. For someone whose knees aren't what they used to be, That extra half hour sitting down is worth more than any coupon. Smaller stores mean less walking. Period. Wide aisles fit wheelchairs and walkers without that awkward shuffle past other carts. The layout makes sense. No hunting for bread in aisle 17 when logic says it should be in aisle 3. Then there's the mental side nobody talks about. Giant supermarkets can feel overwhelming. 40,000 items, flashing digital screens, apps demanding downloads, loyalty cards requiring phone numbers. It's exhausting. Aldi keeps it simple. The price on the shelf is the price you pay. No cards, no apps, no games. One customer in Ohio told reporters she cried the first time she shopped at Aldi. Not from sadness, from relief. 73 years old, and finally a store that didn't make her feel stupid for not understanding technology. That's powerful stuff. The straightforward approach reminds older shoppers of how things used to work. Before everything needed a password. Before buying milk required a smartphone. Clean floors, good lighting, predictable layout, simple pricing. Revolutionary? No. Respectful? Absolutely. But here's what really threatens the big grocery chains. Aldi isn't just winning over seniors. They're stealing customers that Walmart considered untouchable. Walmart thought they had the low-price game locked down. 30 years of always low prices, plastered everywhere. Billions spent convincing Americans that the big blue box was the only place for deals. Then Aldi walked in and flipped the table. Here's what's wild. While Walmart and Kroger dumped billions into advertising last year, Aldi barely spent a fraction of that. Those savings? Straight to the price tags. No celebrity endorsements. No Super Bowl commercials. Just cheaper groceries. And the results speak for themselves. Aldi grew sales by 9% in 2023. 9%. Meanwhile, traditional grocers watched their foot traffic drop like a bad soufflé. People weren't just trying Aldi anymore. They were staying. But the real genius isn't just price. It's location strategy. Those massive Walmart supercenters need acres of parking and highway access. Aldi? They squeeze into spots the big guys can't touch. Urban neighborhoods, small towns. That strip mall your town forgot existed. My buddy lives in a Brooklyn neighborhood where the nearest Walmart is 40 minutes away. His Aldi? 6 blocks. Game over. And here's what really surprised the industry analysts. Aldi isn't just pulling in folks counting pennies. Households earning over $100,000 are shopping there too. These people don't need the savings. They want the efficiency. 20 minutes in and out beats wandering the cereal aisle wilderness any day. When inflation hit hard in 2022, Americans went hunting for relief. Guess who became the fastest-growing grocery retailer? Not the giants with their fancy apps and membership fees. The response from competitors has been almost comical. Walmart started redesigning stores. Kroger slashed prices. Target panicked. All because a German company with shopping carts that require quarters figured out what Americans actually wanted. But growing fast creates new challenges, and Aldi's next moves might surprise everyone. So what happens when the underdog becomes the top dog? Aldi isn't slowing down. They're accelerating. The company just announced plans to become the third largest grocer in America by 2028. Not by store count tricks, by genuine expansion that puts them ahead of Albertsons. But here's where it gets really interesting. In 2023, Aldi dropped a bombshell. They purchased 400 Winn-Dixie and Harvester locations across the South. One acquisition, 400 stores. That's not organic growth. That's a statement. Suddenly, markets that barely knew Aldi existed are getting multiple locations. Georgia, Florida, Alabama. The southern grocery landscape just shifted overnight. And they're not just adding stores, they're reimagining them. New Aldi locations feature expanded refrigerated sections, more organic options, brighter lighting that doesn't make you feel like you're shopping in a bunker, wider aisles designed around actual customer feedback. My local store just got remodeled. Honestly, it feels less like budget shopping and more like regular shopping. Just cheaper. Now, I know what you're thinking. Online ordering? Delivery? Surely Aldi's old-school model can't compete there. Wrong again. They're testing curbside pickup in select markets. Delivery partnerships are rolling out. But here's the clever part. They're not abandoning what works. The in-store efficiency stays intact. The low prices remain untouched. Digital convenience becomes an option, not a requirement. My 72-year-old neighbor doesn't want an app. She wants cheap eggs and a quick trip. Aldi gets that. What started as a weird little German experiment for penny pinchers has transformed into something nobody predicted. A legitimate alternative for mainstream American families, rich or poor, urban or rural, tech-savvy or tech-allergic. The grocery giants spent decades building empires. Aldi spent decades building something better, a smarter way to shop. And America finally noticed.